For humans. For some reason, I decided to do a YouTube live stream for the first time during Mercury retrograde. I can't even speak. Mercury retrograde and solar storms. So let's see how this goes. First of all, today, what I want to share with you is a little bit about all of the things that are happening through this solar energy shift, what 1111 actually means. And then we'll do a process together. There's so much change and fluctuation taking place energetically. The solar storms are part of that. So I want us to have a little bit of orientation or context for it. And then after the healing process, I'll speak very briefly about the seventh ray, Saint Germain and the violet flame, and why it matters and why it's useful for us and what it is. And then we'll have a little bit of time after that, hopefully, to answer some questions. If you have any, you can talk to me. I'm here. I know this can be a challenging time for so many of us. And really, I want to honor you and the fact that you're on a path and you're wanting to work with good energy for yourself, for your own healing, but also as part of a greater contribution to planetary health and the evolution of humanity. That's a beautiful thing. So let's just talk briefly about solar flares. And actually, I can see some of you saying comments here, so this is good. I can see you. Thank you for that. Solar flares, solar storms. So the sun is a living being and it emits energy to different degrees of intensity through a cycle known as, the solar maximum, which we've been in for a little while. It's like a peak. And there's been a lot of solar activity, especially just the last few days. For many of us, we feel it. We might not know that that's the cause, but the energy emitted by the sun has an effect on this planet. We only have to look at the energy of summer versus the energy of winter and the way that we're affected by sunlight to understand this. For some of us, it can feel incredibly energizing. If I didn't know myself so well, I'd kind of think maybe I have bipolar going on, because in 1 minute, super flying fast energy and heightened spiritual clarity and all of the good things. And the next minute, you can feel like you run a marathon suddenly and you need to lie down with Netflix and a cup of tea. So if you feel like you're vacillating, if you feel like the polarities are becoming stronger in yourself or your life, just think about that bright, bright sunlight and the really defined shadow that it creates when that solar energy is strong. It's just what's happening. So we can accept that this is taking place. We can know that it's temporary, but we can also think, is there something we can do with that that's actually useful? And this is a time when self-reflection and just getting to know our own shadow side is really helpful. So we can use this as energy for inner work. But please, during this time, as much as you can, try to rest and take care of yourself and your nervous system. If you need a little bit of kind of vegetation time, I call it, where we just kind of level out and really earth and ground in whatever way feels right and that works for you, please do it. Take care of yourselves. You're very precious light. We want you here on this planet shining as bright as possible, but that means we need to have that downtime and that replenishment time, because thank heavens we are not machines. We are human beings, spirit beings in a human body. So we need to work with the feminine energy of cycles and knowing that we need to recharge and replenish as well. All right, that's my little bit on solar storms. 1111 is a changing frequency. We love it. I love 1111, always have. The idea of the paradigm shift is not always comfortable, but it brings us into a new level of expression. And so much of the upheaval of what's happening on planet Earth right now, and that you might be feeling in your own life and your own heart, is actually part of this whole process of change that's taking place. Eternally the optimist, I believe ultimately it has a good purpose at heart, but how we work with it is incredibly important. So I'll speak about that a little bit after we do our short meditation together, just so we understand how we can work with that. And this is where Saint Germain and the violet flame and the seventh ray come into things. All right, that's enough of that. Let's just do a meditation together, maybe for around 8 or 9 minutes or thereabouts, just tuning into the heart space and having a chance to really feel like you can connect. You can discharge and release so much of whatever it is that you've been carrying into a container, a spiritual holding, where it can be purified. And what that actually means is the releasing of attachment, karmic entanglements, things that have become obscurations, and allowing that liberation, that loosening of the fixity of things to make it more possible, more enjoyable, more likely for you to be able to kind of shift your gears a little bit, even have a complete paradigm change. I mean, what that means is a total shift in belief system that's rarely comfortable. And yet, after that initial discomfort, because of just the difference of it, can feel liberating and give you more energy and feel more suitable for where you're actually at on your path and what it is that you want to manifest. So that's the aim or the intention with this. So let's dive in. Just taking a moment. Thank you for all your beautiful comments. It's so good to see you. So just taking a moment, breathing in and breathing out. Let's just acknowledge that we've come together in this space at this time during this gateway to connect with intention, with all those many infinite, generous, luminous beings that absolutely and sincerely have your best interests at heart. Really knowing that there is in that connection an ability to not be distracted by the ways of the world that are going on around you. They are there. We're living in this strange and unique time. And yet, we can continually bring ourselves back to the truth within, to the luminosity in the heart. So let's let awareness travel into that heart space now. Following the flow of the breath, as if everything else around you can soften and you'll focus on the flow of the breath and the resting of your attention in your heart space. It can feel stronger and more precise. You may like to imagine or sense or feel that the heart space and that light within it becomes more sharply defined in your awareness. Imagine you can see when it flickers, you can see its luminosity, the different degrees or intensities of light, and it becomes real to you. Breathing in and breathing out. And then we connect with the beings of light and the Ascended Master, Saint Germain. And we ask that he manifests his spiritual light, his wisdom, which is connected, the same universal wisdom of spiritual masters, saints and sages from all traditions and all times that are united in one love, one devotion, profound service and protection for all beings, including you. Beloved Saint Germain, may your light, your energy, and all of those luminous, beautiful, enlightened beings that travel with you, that are grounded in unconditional love and true wisdom, please manifest through the body of the violet flame. So now what we do is we imagine a beautiful living flame of violet light sitting above the crown of our heads. If you like, you can imagine that it flickers and crackles and it's really a living thing. It holds spiritual fire, but it does not burn. It purifies and it blesses. It has the energy within it of peace and really helps to purify and release grief and allowing the inner gift of grief, which is repatterning, reorganization, recalibration to occur. So you may actually sense this flame as it crackles above the crown of your head is filled with all of this goodwill and generosity of spiritual masters from all traditions, all ages. And that as it's doing so, it's helping you really receive spiritual blessing to process whatever is going on in your life. Now, as this flame shines above the crown of your head, you can see, sense, or feel that it releases a drop of red life force, which travels down through your spine, all the way down to your Earth Star chakra beneath your feet, deep in the earth. And just sense as that energy hits your Earth Star chakra deep in the earth, there is an alignment. Maybe a release and a reconstruction. Let it be an energy medicine, whatever it is that you need to fully stabilize, to bless, to energize, to vitalize, to redirect your path here on this planet in this time. Really feel that your roots are there and that the Earth Mother in all her generosity is reaching for those roots and gently holding them, filling them with nourishment and energy. Feel that you are here, that your life matters, that you have a purpose, that you're loved, you're supported, you're valued. Breathe in, breathe out. Really sense that that beautiful red energy deep beneath you is a magnetic attractor of positive resources that support your unique path and purpose this lifetime. Sense the energy is now gathering as if Mother Earth is responding to those roots, and those energies rise up through those roots to nourish you. Nourish your soul, nourish your body, nourish your mind, rising further, further, until it rises all the way up to your heart and blooms. Breathe in, breathe out. Now you bring your awareness back to the crown of your head and that violet flame above. And it releases a beautiful drop of blue nectar, which pours all the way down and rests in the base of your throat. And the light glows, vitalizing and clarifying your intentions, your prayers, your voice, your energy. Since that light swirling, let it be feather light. Let it move freely. Breathe in and breathe out. And just rest for a moment. Sense that it is corrective, protective. If there are vows that have been made in the past or things that have been said or left unsaid, regret, remorse, recrimination, whatever might be resting in the throat, imagine breathing in and then breathing out and letting it release. May the magic, the medicine of this manifest gracefully for the spiritual benefit of all beings. So you're aware now of a beautiful light beneath you, a light in the throat and a light above you. I'm really sensing that as that violet flame continues to shine above the crown of your head, it emits a cloak of light which completely envelops you, behind you, to your left and your right, and before you, above you and below you. Just allow that to rest around your energy field and feel how there is more space. Perhaps that you can feel your truth again. You can have compassion for what's going on around you without getting stuck in it. And then just bringing your awareness back again to the flow of your breath and the soles of your feet now. Feel that cloak is stable around you and everything else dissolves into light and dissolves into your heart. And in this moment where we're here together and we're connected with this light and with this intentionality, just take a moment to think about your intentions, your prayers, what it is that is in your heart, what it is that you feel you really need and want to attract into your life. Is there a part of you that can say, I'm worthy of this, I would like to receive this, I'm open to it, I'm willing to grow into it, I want this to increase my joy, my luminosity, my fulfillment, and through that, be a brighter light, a kinder presence on this planet for the benefit of all beings. Can you feel a sense of trust in your heart, perhaps a little bit of relaxation into this deeper knowing that regardless of chaos or change or unpredictability, regardless of the challenges that we're working through, there is a deep truth within that shines and reassures you everything is going to be okay. And we keep doing the work, and we keep showing up with love in our hearts to be of benefit. But we lean into this place of trust within. Breathing in and breathing out. And when you're ready, really feeling like the prayers, the intentions in your heart are releasing now as you exhale, breathing in and breathing out. Just let them go. And know that every part of your being has a tiny ear and a tiny eye of the universe that sees and knows the truth within, that hears your prayers, that sees the truth in your heart and responds to it constantly. Holy ones, great ones, beings of divine light and healing, may the prayers, the intentions of these beloveds be sanctified by grace, with mercy, with goodness, with generosity. May all prayers be answered and fulfilled for the spiritual benefit of all beings, so be it. And in your own time, just coming back to the here and now, if you haven't opened your eyes yet, perhaps slowly doing that, moving hands and feet. Here we are together. All right, I want to answer some questions, but before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about 6th and 7th ray, the shift we're going through and why it matters, and how that relates to Saint Germain and the violet flame. So, briefly, the rays are rays of energy, divine energy. You probably will have heard this or come across this idea before, but for some of you it might be new. So when we talk about these rays of energy, they're like colors of the rainbow. So they're all connected to divine presence, but they emanate certain qualities. So we have been moving through 6th ray for a while. 6th ray is devotion, it's idealism. In its most beautiful form, it's those of us that would do anything for what we love. In its less conscious form, it becomes the kind of idealization that won't see reason. So you could have an idea about something or someone, perhaps a political orientation or a religious belief, that at any point, if that stops serving the truth of your heart, you would believe it so much anyway, you'd just ignore it and you try to paint something to be something that it's not. What we would say is it can prevent us from dealing with cognitive dissonance. Now, we're going through a phase in human evolution at the moment where the outer realities of certain systems are supposed to be failing us. We're supposed to be looking at them and saying, there's a problem here, we need something new. This is not to scapegoat people. This is not to say, oh, well, this is bad and this is good. This is to understand that we're moving out of a power structure that was based on placing all of our empowerment in perhaps beings of authority and not owning our own creative and conscious ability to co-create. So the shift from 6th ray to 7th ray has two parts to it. One, it's about being able to say, I have devotion to a greater cause. I absolutely want to serve it. But I'm also going to acknowledge when something that was once true no longer is, or when there is something that isn't all that it's cracked up to be. I'm going to process the disappointment of that, pull back my energy and do something with it. I'm not going to give up. So we pull our energy back from the things that we may have invested it in that don't resonate anymore, that we've perhaps outgrown. And the 7th ray is associated with magic and order, ceremonial magic in particular. What does that mean? We look at it in a symbolic fashion. So yeah, it could be about magical practice if that's what you're into, but also it's about what we action. Ritual simply means a physical action that's imbued with intention and energy. So when we're shifting from 6th to 7th ray, what we're kind of being asked to do at this deeper level from these universal beings of light and guidance is take action on the energy, the things that we see, what we feel. In other words, do a spiritual practice, whatever that is for you. Prayer, oracles, intentions, journaling, manifesting art, dance, creativity, working with your mind, with how you show up for things, really trusting that you don't have to buy into the narratives that are being perpetuated by media or anything unless you choose to do so. And it's really important in this time when there is so much change that we remember, even though it's tricky, this is a time that is ripe with fertile possibilities. Think of it like this: a gardener coming in and moving the soil around to release some of the nutrients where there's been weeds or old roots that have got a bit stuck, clearing all of that out. And then in all of that kind of slightly chaotic soil where everything's being released, you can pop a seed in and it's got all this access to more aeration, more released nutrients, more possibility for stronger growth. This is the time when we want to not only allow for this kind of chaotic upheaval that's happening at different times and in different ways in our minds, in our belief systems, in our lives, but plant the seeds of what we want. You don't have to know what the outside looks like. You don't have to know what that plant's going to be exactly. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. What matters is the essence, the seed, how you want to feel, what qualities mean something to you. What is your value system? Do you want love? Do you want peace? Do you want harmony, but also wisdom in the world? What is it that you feel you want for yourself? Is it a different kind of way of being or feeling about your work, in your relationships, about yourself? Do you want your spiritual path to feel so real for you that it gives you a sense of sanctuary and peace, regardless of the changes that happen in the world that can sometimes be hair-raising and really challenge our fears of survival or create doubt in our minds about who we are or our value as human beings? What is it that you want? Plant the seed of that. Have a prayer around it. Pray with faith. Pray with courage. Pray with a sense that this is real when you have those conversations and when you ask that of the universe, because it is. And in a time like this, when we are really shifting out of an old paradigm collectively as a species, there are those of us that are moving forward, and you will feel it. You'll feel where there is dissonance with the past structures, where it doesn't fit anymore, where sometimes you may look around the world and think, are we still doing this? What is this? Haven't we outgrown this yet? Whatever it is that you're feeling, really honor that desire for change. It is innate and it's very supported right now. So the violet flame and Saint Germain. Saint Germain's a bit of a character. He was very political, always getting into trouble, would be quite mysterious. He was known as an alchemist, so he's about transformation. He's very active in the world. He values freedom and equality and all of these energies that are associated with the Aquarian age that we're moving into. And the violet flame is his kind of, I think of it as the manifestation of his spiritual body in a form that we can relate to. But it's a spiritual tool and a technique you can use at any time. You can space clear with it, stick it in your house, put it above the crown of your head. Imagine sitting in it when you meditate. Helps to clear and protect, and it's there. It's accessible for everyone. You don't need an initiation to use it. You don't have to be taught anything other than there's a violet flame, visualize it, ask for Saint Germain. That's all you got to do, and boom, it'll work for you. And it's just that sense of consistency and working with it and allowing yourself to feel it. If that image and that practice kind of clicks for you, if you like it, play with it. So that's what that is about. Now, I feel like we just went through a few things there. Let me have a look at your comments and your questions. Let me just see. How are you? How are you going? Let's just spend, I know we're running a little bit later. Let's spend just maybe 5 minutes if we can and just check into this. Hi, beautiful. Power nap. That's such a good nap. So perfect. Carly and Isis packs arrived in the mail right before 11:11. Amazing. Bless, bless. Morgan Le Fay, how beautiful. Thank you for your work. You're so welcome, White Light Oracle. I have one here. I'm going to pull a card for us. I'll do that now. So sacred. Oh, how wonderful. All right, let me just get a card for us. Oh. Just quick, what will it be? Okay, we had 2. the alabaster tablet of Layla. And then we have Garuda. Mm. So Garuda, let me see, what do I want to say from this? What I love about Garuda and the energy of it is the moment you see negativity, just give yourself permission to do that, the instinctive, intuitional. Just don't get into it. Sometimes when we're doing shadow work or we're kind of going deep, we want to get into it, we want to understand it, we want to give it space. And sometimes there's a role for that. But there's something around this, at least today, that the moment you feel or hear and connect with that negativity in your own mind or whatever it is, the voice in your head or the voice around you in the media, you can just really go, no, thank you. Or you can kind of, I don't know, do an impression of an eagle and just kind of. So that's the first thing, cut it off at the root. Don't get into it at the moment. There's something around this, especially for now, for the rest of this month, around the energy and what's happening. There's too much movement. So this is what I'm getting from Spirit now for us. There's so much movement. It'll be continuing through this month. And it's just like, don't try to pin anything down. Just keep letting it fluctuate and move. And there will be times when you'll feel like, have you ever had those days where it's like 4 seasons in one day? We get that in Australia sometimes. In the morning, it's winter. In the afternoon, it's like, is it summer? And then it's back to, and it just keeps changing. Or it's sunny and then the clouds pass and suddenly it's like it's got a completely different mood. Apparently, there's going to be a lot of that where we kind of think it's one thing and it keeps flipping. So just let it settle. They're saying it's just like if you were tuning a radio station. This is a bit old school for some of you, but you kind of flip in and out of the channel a little bit until you get it, and then the signal's really clear. So this is a little bit with solar storms. It's a little bit with cosmic energies. So just if something's negative, just cut it off and just let that energy kind of play out and then see where you land in early December with that. Okay, so alabaster tablet of Layla. So she's the guardian angel that presides over transitions. And this is very much about allowing for support during this time of change and letting it be what it is. You know, the funny thing, that change is not always comfortable, right? We don't particularly like it. But it's also the path to manifesting the things that you dream of that you haven't manifested yet. So it's a blessing as well. But it's just how we work with it. So stay close to spirit and don't let negativity kind of get in and make you lose your sense of faith. Yeah, easier said than done sometimes, but we could do it. All right, let me have a little look here. Rachel, hi. So nice to be on here with you. It's lovely to see you. The last session for me was right, and yes, the energies are very high. Yeah. Christine, thank you, beloved. T, hi. All right, thank you. These are beautiful. Any questions for me before we... Oh, how beautiful. Someone spotted this. 144 watching at the moment. That's so lovely. What is your process when making music? That's a beautiful question. I like to hear it in my head or to feel moved by something, the same as if I'm writing an oracle deck or a book, or even when I'm talking to you. I have sometimes a vague idea of what I want to say or what I want to connect with. And then I make myself, the way Rumi said it, if you want to be written on, become a blank page. I go in with an intention and then I open myself to allowing the feeling to come through and then translate into music or words or whatever it might be. Yeah. And also I wait for the inspiration. Sometimes, like, I'm working on a new project at the moment with dark divine feminine energy and magic. It came out of nowhere really, but I'll tell you more about that next year. But I waited and it just kind of, the inspiration came to me, and then it was like wanting to understand it more, and you kind of have to wait for it to show yourself, to show itself to you. So that's what that is for me. I hope that helps answer your question, EJ. Thank you. Struggling with dark energies, any guidance on this other than the Buddha and Kali chapters? I'm really struggling. Spirits won't leave me alone. That sucks. I've been through that. That's super annoying. Lots of grounding. And what brings you joy? I feel like grounding and things that you like. This is a weird example, but like watching cat videos and eating, I don't know, pad thai, whatever it is, but things that help you connect with your body and with earthing is really good. And also, from guidance, they say, don't try to fight the spirits. They're always around, right? Some of us are more attuned to them than others, but come back to, where do I want to put my focus at the moment? And it's a little bit like, if you're in a room with, like, sometimes when I'm writing, there's this plague of people with leaf blowers in Australia. Do you know those things? They're hugely noisy. They blow like about 2 leaves, like it sounds like a plane taking off. If I'm feeling really sensitive, it can do my head in, but I do spend some time, kind of just focusing, like pulling my awareness into what I'm writing, and then they're there, and sometimes I can even forget about it. So I would say those 2 things for you, and also get help if it's really not, working for you with your own practice enough. You may just need a little bit of help connecting with either a teacher or a healer or a guide, someone who can, just be with you in the space and help strengthen your energy field and give your nervous system, a bit of holding. So you're not always holding yourself, and you can actually have someone who can just kind of hold some space for you. I'm actually wanting to feel and do that for you now as I'm speaking to you, but providing you with that sense that you've got a little bit of insulation around you, because sometimes when we're very open, it's just like we need to shut the door a little bit, and know that it's safe to do that. You're never going to lose your abilities. You're just giving your nervous system a chance to recalibrate. And I'll pray for you in my meditation tomorrow morning as well. Mm. Where are we, beautiful ones? Let me go through here. Glad to stumble upon. Yes, welcome, beloved. Sarah, Christine. Oh, you're welcome, beloved. It's good to see you. Heather, much love. Allow for support, divine support during this transition of change. Beautiful. Adore the sacred rebel set. Amazing. Synchronicities occur when using it. Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you for sharing. Oh, Maria, the eagle kept calling me today, and this is what it is. Amazing. Eagle is deep protection, yeah? It's a powerful symbol. Haven't felt anything special today. How's that? Oh, enjoy the ordinary. If you're having just a cruisy day, enjoy it, beloved. Thank you, thank you. I have 15 oracles. Can you help me, Alana? Love you. I love you too, Diana. You're named after the moon goddess. You are on, it's connected to Artemis, who takes no crap from anyone, so you'll be fine. Oh my goodness. All right, what have we got here? Been listening lately a lot to you on Spotify. Oh, that's beautiful, Rachel. Thank you. To your musical offerings. Tea. Eat, pray, love. That's it. That's good advice. That's good advice for how to manage the energies, especially when it's a bit overwhelming. Lots of grounding. Karen, is there a relationship between Kali and Pele? Oh, the Hawaiian goddess of volcanic eruptions. Pele has been very active on Hawaii. I love that you've asked this. Volcanic activity and the divine feminine, and actually Venus, who's an embodiment of the divine feminine and like a spiritual elder to Earth, is hugely volcanic on the surface. Like, this is really fascinating. So yes, I believe there is a connection between volcanic activity, which I know is quite active at the moment, not just with Hawaii, but around the world. I think there is more activity, or has been quite a bit recently. And I believe this is connected to the earth changes that are happening, and the spiritual shifts of humanity are part of this. I know in Indigenous wisdom, I would say pretty much everywhere, but I know specifically with New Zealand Indigenous people, there is this understanding that humans aren't separate from nature. We're part of it. We have this kind of split sometimes, and we forget. So when the earth is going through these shifts, so are we. We're part of nature. So I love that you've made that connection. I would say both are about the potential for powerful release. Kali Ma in particular is so associated with that release, but also rebirth. And I want to keep reiterating this. I think it's important whenever we're going through something and we feel a change, an end, and I think for a lot of us right now, and this is part of just what's happening, there is this kind of almost forceful sense of you have to let go of these old belief systems or these old ways that aren't going to support you. Now is the time to do it. And it's just like we can't take that baggage with us through into the next threshold that we're crossing at the moment. And there's time, we're doing it now, but it's time. It's not like it's going to happen tomorrow, but we're in these months, we're moving through the next 2 years in particular. That's a total 1111 energy. It's this recalibration, this rebooting. It's really powerful. So I just want to encourage you with that. All right, when will there be an oracle pack with a new Dark Feminine album? I'm working on it now. I will definitely keep you posted. I'm hoping to share a lot with you next year. And there's like a special surprise with it. I can't wait to share it with you. So that's coming. All right. Zelda, don't worry, Diana. I have 17 oracles. You guys are hilarious. So much love, light, and joy. Thank you. What are your thoughts on 3 Atlas? I don't know a lot about this, but I did see that it seemed to be absorbing energy from the sun as a fuel source. I was totally into that. I loved this idea of the conscious use of solar energy to vitalize rather than just it's there, it's not there, but actually working with it in an intelligent way. I feel that if we're witnessing that, to whatever extent this has been proven or not, I don't know. But anything that happens in the sphere, discovery of new planets or comets or things, phenomena that we may not fully understand, but we can get dribs or drabs of it, something's happening in the human consciousness where we're able to access it. Because if you don't know or if you can't access something, you can't see it. It could be right in front of you and you don't see it. So there's something about working intelligently with solar energy that I really like. And I think part of us, going through solar storms and thinking, I'm high as a kite and then I feel like a rock and everything in between. It's like our nervous system is attempting to regulate not only with Earth Mother and her frequencies, but what she's doing, which is, recognizing she has a relationship with the sun. We see it in the auroras around the South and North Pole that have been really strong lately. So I think there's something there about this deeper spiritual. It's quite esoteric what I'm talking about, but I think our nervous systems are learning how to recalibrate in a vaster way. I think it's pretty powerful, actually. Just finished. Where are we up to? I just finished swirling with Whirling Goddess in the ancient forest. Oh my gosh! While listening to your Rumi album. Oh, how beautiful! I'm in the garden of delights, growing closer to Rumi's unconditional embrace. And that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Just had a visual of that, of you whirling in amongst the trees. How stunning. Thank you. Are you creating a tarot deck? I am. I'm literally writing it now. It's so beautiful. It's with Layla Savalan's art, and if you want to see it, she created all the art new. We had this whole journey with Kuan Yin together, and I'll share more with you on that next year. But if you want to see a sneak peek, it's on the Kuan Yin transmission course page. We're using her art all through that program, and it's dedicated to Kuan Yin. It's beautiful. The energy for it is stunning, and there was a whole story around how it happened. So, yes, hopefully it should be out next year. What else have we got? Are you working on it? Yes, 2 questions on tarot, you clever beans. All right, what else have we got for the help? Help with intrusive beings. Okay, you may want to listen to, there's a quote here, like a link, Mystical Musings podcast. There you go. Thank you for your beautiful work. Do you know Melchizedek? Yes, so I actually have a process dedicated to Melchizedek in this retreat that I've just created for you guys. If that's something you feel would be helpful, it's called the 1111 Recalibration Retreat. And I do some triangulations with different beings, and one of them is Melchizedek, because he's such a beautiful, complicated, mysterious being. But the short answer, I feel, is that he's related to the Christ consciousness in an unconventional way and holds a really deep and ancient wisdom. But he's a good guy, and if you want to call on him, I support it. All right. How are we going for time? We are so over, but I love talking to you guys. Let's just do maybe 2 more minutes. Tips for embracing priesthood. Amazing at this time. Specific magical resources you recommend. I'm creating a program again for next year, but I'm working on it now on the dark divine feminine and magical practice. So I'll be sharing that with you. But I would say generally around the priest archetype, whatever it is that nourishes you with keeping a foot in both sides, because the priest is the gateway, right? Or the priestess. It's being able to remain in connection but being present. It's the oracle, it's the portal in between. So whatever it is that nourishes you on both facets, the spiritual and the physical, will be really important. And balancing that. Mary, I heard someone say 3 Atlas was recording Crystal Core of Earth. I didn't get the rest. Or intuitive hit. Is it true? I don't know. I haven't meditated on it, Mary, but I do know that the things that are being shown to us and that we're able to see can be things that inspire and not necessarily something that we have to be afraid of. Mm. But you seem open to it, so I hope you find an answer to your question. Sometimes I think it just takes a little while, but I'm sure you will. Okay, what else have we got here? Lots of rays in the energy field. Higher intelligence. Yes, thank you, thank you. Saint Germain and Lady Portia, beautiful. If you want to connect with her, pale pink ray is something I associate with her, or sometimes golden light. The Lady Portia, another ascended master. Okay, I'm just going to wrap this up with a closing prayer. Thank you. I'm just looking at all your comments. Katie, hello, beloved. You're in the UK. It's very late. Oh, yes, you can watch this at another time. So nice to see you in the ethers again. I'm sending you lots of love. All right. Thank you so much for all your comments, for your questions and your prayers. Let's do a closing blessing. And thank you for staying with me. This has gone on longer than I thought it would today. All right. So just resting in your heart for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out. Holy ones, great ones, beings of divine light and healing, you who are with us and within us always, guiding with light, grace, goodness, generosity. May each beloved here today receive your protection and receive a sign, a synchronicity, a sacred gift that helps them find faith, clarity, protection, and joy on their path. May their fulfillment be assured. May it happen with merciful grace. For the spiritual benefit of all beings, so be it. All right. Lots of love to you always. And thank you for being part of this. And I look forward to reconnecting with you on the inner planes sometime soon. If you want more of the 1111, I've created this recalibration retreat, so you can look for the link in the notes below. And the things that I've talked about today, the new tarot deck that's coming next year and the dark divine feminine magic practice, I'll share that with you if you want to make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. You can just sign up through the website. That's one way of doing it, to find out the news first. And what else did I have to tell you about? There's a beautiful ceremonial magic lightwork course that I do called Sarasvati Healing, and I will be relaunching that again with a fresh group. So I'll be taking people through that next year as well. So there's a lot happening, lots of ways for you to feel supported on the path, and where we can go more deeply into all of the, the beautiful idiosyncrasies and the uniqueness of each of our paths. So much love to you always, dear ones. Be good to yourselves. Remember the light and stay true to that beautiful heart of yours. Namaste.